Hi, for those of you who have been following this project of mine, this is a little extra bit of technical information, I guess. This is the large winged lion that I decided to make back in late October. I've been working on, and now it's December 4th. It's almost dry now. I won't say dry, but it's leather hard, as they call it. And so there's still quite a bit of moisture left in the clay to dry, but it's quite firm. And no further modeling is really viable because it's firmed up now. That's why they call it leather hard. Anyway, one of the things that needs to be done on this now over the whole surface, and I don't know how well this will show up on the video. It looks like it might be a little bit grainy, but hopefully this will give you an idea. As you can see, might be able to see if my camera stand a little bit. If that'll do. There's all these little holes and these little defects and things, little air pockets and so on. So what we want to do is get rid of those, and I've got a variety of ways to do that. I've got different brushes I use. This is a little coarser, a little stiff, more so than this is. And for some of the more difficult spots, of course, I just have my wood tool. So where there's like a little hole here, I'm just going to blend that in. And where there's some defects that the brush obviously wouldn't get rid of, I just kind of smooth all those little spots out over the whole surface, and just kind of get rid of all those little defects and little scratches and things like that. So now we've got a stiff brush, and this side is dry enough that the bristles are not leaving scratch marks on the clay. So if this technique is used, it kind of burnishes the clay a little bit and helps to smooth it down even more. And I don't know how well this might show up on the video, but at least you can see the technique. And then of course, if the clay is just a little bit softer and I want to avoid brush marks, then this kind of a brush is ideal just for smoothing the surface and getting rid of any little ticks and little nuances there that I don't want sticking up on the surface. And so that's basically how I kind of work that clay surface, smooth it out without leaving additional marks on it, and so forth. And let me get this off the tripod and see if this will zoom out. So as you can see, I leave some nice tooling marks in there because I like to have that hand tooled mark, that hand tooling mark texture on there. It looks nicer rather than trying to make it glassy smooth or anything. And you can see, hopefully this will show up also on here. And of course this brush can help smooth that out a little more, and I'll be working on that some more today and tomorrow. But this is quite a project. And it's 56 inches tall from the top of the plywood up to there, and it's not immediately obvious that's how big it is. But you come out of the room a bit, you can see the stand that it's on is just about at my waist height almost, and that's a pretty good size piece of clay. That's 825 pounds is what I started out with, although some of that moisture weight will evaporate out of it over probably most of this winter. It has to be kept wrapped up in plastic to dry very slowly, and that is to avoid shrinking too quickly, because clay does shrink. You don't want it to shrink too quickly and it'll start to get some cracks. And so far this clay is extremely nice. It's from Continental Clay in Minneapolis, and I talked with their technical people about it and showed them what I was doing. Let's see if we can see through here. You can see through the claws, you know. So I've got their recommendation that this clay would work out pretty well for large items, and it really has. So I'm just going to keep working on the surface on this and getting it smoother as it goes, and then it'll dry over the next several weeks, and then I can leave the plastic off of it. I decided to go ahead and, like the original 2 lions on the bank that's in Grinnell, Iowa, I decided to go ahead and put the, just for posterity, the original lettering that was on that one, or those 2. And I did it in insize lettering rather than raised, because it is my model, so I want to do it the way I want to. And of course Louis Sullivan drew this lion just like this with an open mouth on his 1914 drawing, and that was what I decided to do rather than trying to duplicate, so to speak, the look of the lions that are on the bank. They've got a very platonic, cowed down look to their face, almost like a ripped puppy dog or something, you know. And I thought, well, Louis Sullivan wanted this, he wanted this as his concept, and somewhere between his drawing and actually making the model, which I believe was made by Kristen Snyder, that got changed. So I think the bank people probably wanted to have a more inviting looking lion rather than one that looks like it might attack the customers coming in the front door. So that might be why it got changed. Somebody decided to change it. So that's all the video I'm going to do on this. I guess it's going to have to stay on this stand for quite a while, because I haven't decided just exactly what I'm going to do with this yet. To make any kind of a mold of it, I could do that, but to fire it in a kiln, it would have to be cut into pieces. The wings would have to be cut off. The shield with the front paws would have to be cut off. That would be one piece. And then probably the head would have to be cut off as well. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Probably the base could probably stay on. But five pieces at least it would have to be cut into to fit into a large kiln. And to fire it safely, I'd have to scrape out the inside, make it a little bit more hollow, because I know the portions of that head are quite thick. They're probably 6 inches thick. And a lot of that clay could be removed out of the inside of this, and it could be fired, and then it could be cemented back together like brickwork would be, or if this was made in multiple pieces originally, that's how they would do it, with a red tinted mortar. But I don't know what I might have plans to do with this, other than just, you know, keep it for myself. But just trying to move this off of that stand would be quite an ordeal, because I wouldn't be able to put any kind of a strap around it to lift it with the hoist, because the amount of weight in this would probably at the very least damage the surface, no matter how much padding was put around the strap, and it might even break it. So it's pretty hard to judge how much pressure you're putting on something that weighs 800 pounds when you're trying to hoist it up. So ideally, if I were to do anything with just like taking this off this stand, it might go on a smaller stand, and it might be slid over onto it or something. But the clay is quite strong, but in its present state, unfired, it is quite easy to break, quite easy to damage, so I want to avoid that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that.